Welcome to Development Academy. How do you get a win? How do you reach your goals and dreams with minimal damage? How do you avoid public humiliation? By arguing. No, 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 no. It's never like that. On the contrary, you achieve it through your actions, through what you do. Because what you have done in the past and today is a guarantee of what you can do in the future. Any momentary victory that we think we have won by arguing is really an empty victory. The resentment and ill will you cause is more powerful and lasts no longer than any momentary change of mind. It is far more effective to get others to agree with you through your actions without saying a word. Show, don't explain. The logic of the arguer falls on deaf ears as every man believes he is right, and words will rarely convince him otherwise. When cornered, he will only argue some more and dig his own grave. Not even Socrates' eloquence can save the situation once he has made the other person feel insecure and inferior in his beliefs. This is just a way to avoid arguing with those who are above you. It's not a matter of, we all know that we are masters of ideas and logic. So you have to be careful. You can't indirectly as a sultan. Let me tell you about a sultan and his vizier. The vizier had served his master for 30 years and was admired for his loyalty, honesty, and devotion to God. However, his honesty, he had made many enemies at court. These enemies spread rumors about his hypocrisy and treachery. As a result of these people constantly working on the sultan, he began to distrust his innocent vizier and began to think that he was too good for him, and ordered him to be killed despite his service. Here, those sentenced to death are bound hand and foot, and the sultan's most, and thrown into a compartment with wild dogs. The dogs would tear the victim to pieces instantly. However, the vizier told the dogs he made one last request before he was thrown out. "I want a 10-day postponement," he said, "so that I can pay my debts. I can collect, return what people have entrusted to me, divide my possessions among my family members and children, and appoint a guardian for them." After receiving the vizier's promise that he would not try to escape, the sultan granted his request. The vizier immediately went home. He ran, took 100 gold pieces, and visited the hunter who looked after the sultan's dogs. He offered this man 100 gold coins and said, "I will take care of the dogs for 10 days. Let me take care of them," he said. The hunter agreed, and for the next 10 days, the vizier took great care of the monsters, cleaning and grooming them well. He fed them. At the end of 10 days, they began to eat from his hand. On the 11th day, the sultan summoned the vizier and the punishment was carried out. The sultan told the vizier and thrown to the dogs. But when the monsters saw the vizier, they ran towards him, wagging their tails. With love, they licked his hands and started playing with him. The sultan and the other witnesses were astonished. Sultan asked the vizier why the dogs. He asked if they did not kill him. The vizier replied, "I took care of these dogs for 10 days, and you have seen the result. I have given you 30 years. I looked, and what was the result? I was sentenced to death based on allegations made by my enemies." The sultan blushed with shame. And he not only pardoned him, but gave him fine suits of clothes and handed over to him the men who had slandered his reputation. The noble vizier set them free and continued to be polite. As you can see from this story, instead of arguing with the sultan, the vizier proves something to the sultan through his actions and saves his life. In short, show the truth but don't tell it. By arguing, you will only make more enemies. Even if you win a victory, it is momentary and temporary. You leave behind enemies, not successes. But if you show something by your actions, you will have complete success.